Hello everyone, I am Father Jimmy George Anastasio from the Clerics Regular of St. Paul, also known as the Barnabite Fathers, a congregation founded by Saint Anthony Maria Zaccaria in 1530 in Milan, Italy. So let us now reflect in the season of Advent with regards to our preparation for the coming of the Lord. And we will use the reflection based on the candles that we see here in front of the Advent wreath. First of all, we are called to a life of thankfulness. You see, dear friends, candles are always lit. They are never lighted by themselves. And in doing so, we always need to be reminded that we have received so much, we can only have a thankful heart. A thankful heart that is awake for the gifts given, a thankful heart which will always be blessed, a thankful heart that never runs out of something to give, and a thankful heart that will always remain young. The second reflection that we can have with the candles will always be a life of sacrifice. You see, the candle spends itself in order to give light to others. We are also called to a life of sacrifice. And in doing so, the question is, for whom do we actually sacrifice? We can actually sacrifice for our own glory, for our own agenda, for our own ego, but in doing so, the sacrifice loses its value. Whereas if the sacrifice is made for the sake of Christ, it is then that the sacrifice gains its true and lasting value. In the end, dear friends, let us not forget that the sacrifice we do for ourselves will die with us. And yet, the sacrifice we do for the sake of Christ, it is only the sacrifice that will last. Let us choose the things that will indeed last. Finally, the candles of the Advent wreath remind us of a life of perseverance. You see, dear friends, candles have always a risk of being turned off, be it by wind, can be toppled over, and it could drown even its own wax. But you see, dear friends, the light of goodness and kindness in us is easy to practice for a moment. It's easy to practice for a day, but to practice it for a week, a month, a year, and a lifetime, that is indeed a great challenge. It's hard to be kind when you hear rumors being said about you which you know are false. It is hard to be kind when you feel that you are taken advantage of. It is very hard to be kind when people continue to try your patience. There will be a lot of reasons to fall. And yet, let us always have more reasons to stand up tall. St. Paul goes on to remind us that in the letter of Paul to the Romans, he says that everything works out for the good of those who love the Lord. He is calling for a life of perseverance in holiness. After all, holiness is not a matter of not falling, but holiness is a matter of rising each time we fall. Let us now continue, therefore, a life of perseverance, a life of thankfulness, and a life of sacrifice, aware of God's grace, aware of God's love, and aware of God's mercy. God bless you all, and thank you.
Greetings from Saint Anthony Maria Zaccaria Seminary in Marikina City. We are the aspirants from the Order of the Clerics Regular of St. Paul, also known as the Barnabite Fathers. We would like to share you this song entitled, Ang Panginoon ay Darating.